As you guys know, I was in Japan a couple of times over the last few months, and number one topic, it's about the new MR2 that could come back from Toyota. We talked about it at Japan Mobility Show, but just recently the Best Car magazine have brought a new rumor and some new speculation that says MR2 is indeed confirmed and coming to the world. So I can't wait to tell you about it. It's super exciting news, and it's not in fully electric format. It is going to be available in gasoline version. So let's break down what Best Car magazine has to say and tell you all about what is a new generation Toyota MR2. Let's go. Welcome back. So I am super excited to talk about this potential brand new model from Toyota based on speculation by Best Car magazine from Japan. They are saying that MR2 is a sure thing, that it is no longer just a speculation or prediction, but that they have real reason to believe that this model is coming back as a true midship and mid-engine sports car with a pure gasoline version, not a hybrid, not a EV, but actual sports car. And this is based on the latest magazine from Best Car magazine, but also they did a preview, a YouTube video where they talked about this particular model, and they talked about it in quite a bit of detail. So let me get right into it. So you can see it on the cover page here. The Best Car magazine is giving two potential images of what this MR2 could look like, but there are a few things to keep in mind. One is the fact that two designs are being designed or developed concurrently, according to Best Car magazine. So they don't know yet which of the design will take over as a final version. They're saying sometime in 2026 or even maybe 2025, they could see this MR2 coming back to life. They think that it will use the 1.6-liter turbocharged 3-cylinder engine out of the GR Yaris model, with or without automatic transmission, because obviously it has a 6-speed manual transmission to go with it. But they think that the new automatic transmission that was just recently unveiled at the Japan Mobility Show could also be in this new MR2. They are very sure that this is a pure sports car, that it is a mid-engine vehicle with the actual sports car intent. It's not an EV, it's not pretending to be a sports car, it is a sports car. They do admit they're not quite sure about the name, but they think that the name MR2 will be used just because of the legendary status associated with the name, but they said that is not something they know for sure. It could have two designs, as they mentioned earlier, and interesting thing is that the two can have a very different rear design. So one is more like the traditional first generation NSX or the second generation MR2, where they have two lift gate or two opening in the rear, one for the engine, one for the trunk, and the two are actually separated. That's one potential design theme. And the other one is actually more like a sports coupe, more like a Ferrari or many of the other exotic sports cars that have one big opening for the rear, and then when you open it, then you can see the engine and also access the trunk. So the two designs are possible. They're not sure which one Toyota will ultimately go with, but they've done the best they can to come up with an image showing both of them. In either case, they are pretty sure that it will be a GRMN version, which means high performance, capable of racing, as opposed to just a GR version. And that is also very exciting because of the fact that this is going to be a true performer. They do think that it will have not just the 1.6-liter Turbo 3, but also a high output version of that, as much as 320 PS, so even more than the current GR Yaris, for example. They are pretty sure that you'll be a pure gas version, no hybrid, no EV, and interesting enough, only 50 to 100 units will be produced. They think it will be very limited production for true collectors only, and potentially only for Japan market, which would be very disappointing. And if this does become a limited edition model, then they're saying that it could also be very expensive, $80,000 to $100,000 US, and therefore it would be a true flagship sports car. From that perspective, I think it will not use the MR2 name if it's going to be that expensive, because it will be a true flagship but we don't know that. I don't know that, and they don't know that either. And the designs are pretty speculative, but Best Car Magazine have had a good track record of coming up with images and rendering that turn out to be very accurate. So at least one of these two images are probably accurate, but it's hard to say. They're kind of a little bit gun shy about saying which design seems to be true or seems to be what the sources are telling them. Either way, they don't think the EV version will ever show up in terms of this type of vehicle. The EV sports car we saw at the Japan Mobility Show will be a different model, not one of these high-performance version. They're also saying that it's probably about 4.4 meters long, so not too big, but it will look grand. It will look big and very sporty. It'll be a rear-wheel drive versus all-wheel drive, like in the GR Yaris. And once again, it could only be sold in Japan. Now let's just take a quick look at the design here one more time. I think the front here looks pretty cool if this design is the one that gets selected, but the rear is even crazier, more like a Ferrari looking, very much exclusive design. I think it looks fantastic if it's going to look anything like this. Again, this one is the one with what they call a double deck design with two openings for the engine and the trunk, the separated. But the other design here also looks pretty good. This one is looking more like a Ferrari, I think. And knowing that lately Toyota has been copying, or not shy to be copying, some designs from other brands, I wouldn't be surprised if the new MR2 or whatever it's going to be called may have some kind of a Ferrari-looking design. This one is beautiful too, but the rear looks a little bit like NSX, I guess. And again, front looks a little bit like a Ferrari. This one is a single deck, they call it, which means one opening or one lift gate covering both the engine and the trunk. And there's one more diagram here, dark gray one here, and this one looks fantastic. So they're just simply showing both of those in this dark gray, and looks absolutely wicked. So I'm really hoping that they will show this GR-MN or GR sports car sometime later this year, because it will be the most exciting entry within Toyota lineup. They're saying that because of the EV world that's coming through us or coming to us, and they really feel that this might be the last celebration of a true gasoline sports car. And they think that Toyota is doing this because they want to celebrate this last hurrah with sports cars. And surely this is the best way to celebrate that, by creating a true mid-engine sports car that can compete with some of the best cars in the world. I'm a little bit disappointed with the pricing of this. If it's truly going to be kind of $80,000 US, that would be out of reach for many of us. But once again, maybe if it's going to be only 50 to 100 units, I guess that's understandable. Again, there's a little bit of spec in here as well. They're saying length is 4.4 meters, width is 1.85 meters, and height is 1.23 meters, with a wheelbase of 2.6 meter, 1,300 kilogram weight, with potential 320 PS 6 manual or 8-speed automatic, upwards of $80,000 to $100,000, and possibly 2026. So those are the details we have. They are, again, very sure that this mid-engine sports car will show up sometime in the next couple of years within Toyota lineup. They're sure about that, but they're not sure about the name or the actual design. And so we'll have to wait and see. And it might not be too long before we see a concept version of this gasoline pure sports car that will surely turn heads, because this might be the most cool thing to ever come out of Toyota. Also, Toyota has many other models in the pipeline, including all-new GR86 sometime in 2025 or beyond, most likely with 2.4-liter turbo hybrid, they're saying. They also think that GR Supra is due for a major model changeover in 2025 or 2026. But before they do that, they will introduce GR-MN version of the Supra, once again as a celebration of this particular version of Supra. And then more to come. Lexus LC and Lexus RC will be combined together into a single model, which means end of the V8 engine for Lexus LC. And there was some speculation and rendering done on this a while back. And then finally, they're saying that they still believe the Lexus LFA will come back as the LFA second generation with a V8 power 4-liter version, twin turbo, and that would be the most crazy vehicle as well. It might even have a GT3 version. And finally, in terms of electric cars, Best Car Magazine is saying that electrified sports concept car that was shown a while back will indeed show up as a production model. So many sports cars, so many crazy sports cars coming out of Toyota and also Lexus. It's probably the best time to celebrate and enjoy performance models from Toyota Lexus brands. If you enjoyed my video, please give me a thumbs up, make some comments, and maybe ask me some questions about this, because I'm curious what you think of all these things that are happening with Toyota and Lexus brands in terms of producing and developing high-performance vehicles. And also, if you haven't done so yet, would you kindly subscribe? Until next video, I'm signing off for now. Thank you so much.